Hey guys, this is Taylor. I'm really excited you're watching this because you seeing this means that you have a list of 250 TEDx events that you can apply to all over the US and Canada in 2018, which is 250 opportunities for you to get on the TEDx stage and share your message with the world. Now, this video is on the top 3 things that will help you stand out in your application, help you get picked over and above the other dozens or even hundreds of applicants trying to get on that TEDx stage as well. So I've done 4 TEDx Talks. There's a very simple step-by-step process for standing out and getting booked ahead of everyone else. And I've also interviewed 20 TEDx organizers from all over the world, and it's surprising yet not surprising. They keep saying the top 3 things are the same over and over and over again. What they look for in speakers is very, very clear, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So the number one most important thing for a TEDx organizer to hear is your idea. Now that sounds obvious because TEDx and TED is about ideas we're sharing, but you'd be surprised at how many people come with just a story. They've gone through something transformational, they've gone through some heartache, they've gone through some amazing times, and they just want to get on stage and tell their story. And even though stories are great and they're very welcome on stages all over the world, TED is very specific about ideas. When you are applying or you're talking to a TEDx organizer, you need to be able to communicate your idea in a very compelling, concise, and short way, in one sentence. What is your idea that if 1 billion people listened to it or learned it, would make the world a completely different place? If you can't answer that question, you need to go back to the drawing board or dive a little bit deeper, and in one sentence, tell me what your idea is that would genuinely change the world if enough people heard it. Okay, so number 1 is idea. Now, number 2, very close behind, is passion. And I don't just mean passion as in being excited and talking loudly and fast and whatever it is about your topic. What I mean by passion is you need to be able to relay in your application or on that phone call with that TEDx organizer how this has not just been your passion for a couple months or a couple weeks, how this has been your passion for ideally your whole life, or at least the last few years. So you need to be able to exemplify your idea. Talk about how you worked with 500 people going through X, or you've helped 1,000 people transition through Y. You need to be able to tell stories and give anecdotes about how 3 years ago you learned this and how all of that time and expertise is compiled to making you the expert on this topic and you the person that needs to stand on that stage. So don't be shy in your application and in your phone call with the TEDx organizer to reference those ideas, those experiences from 4 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and show them that you're the expert, you're the one who deserves to be on that stage and teach their audience something amazing. And that brings me to number 3, which is my favorite, which is the audience. Now, you need to know how to think like a TEDx organizer. Why do you think that TEDx organizer, what do you think the TEDx organizer's number 1 priority is when putting on an event? Well, it's not to get you a whole bunch of views to your video, and it's not to talk about their favorite topic. Their number 1 goal is to give the audience, that the butts in those seats in that room, to give them an experience they'll never forget, to transform that audience, to make sure that audience has an incredible, inspiring, uplifting, downlifting, all of the feels time while they're in those seats, and they leave smarter, more knowledgeable, better, more excited human beings after that experience. TEDx organizers get off on giving these audiences an amazing experience. Now, the best way for you to show the TEDx organizer that you are the person to give that audience an experience, this might sound obvious, is to give that TEDx organizer that experience. And what I mean is that when you're on that phone call, you're in that application, you need to be able to show that you're going to take that audience on the ups, on the downs, and that audience is going to leave smarter after they've heard your talk than how smart they were before they heard their talk. Now, the best example of this is when you get on the phone with that TEDx organizer, which you will, as long as you can communicate your idea in a compelling way, show that you're passionate in your application, and when you get on the phone with them, is to genuinely do your talk. So you need to take them through the experience that you're going to take the audience through, and if you can take them through the highs and the lows and the tangible learning, beautiful takeaways, they will trust you to take their audience through that journey as well. So the top 3 things again: your idea, passion, and the audience. Always be thinking about the audience first, because that is what the TEDx organizer is thinking first. Audience, audience, audience. Now, one thing that I find really interesting is I know a gentleman named Jake who booked 3 TEDx talks at the age of 20. I'm talking within a couple weeks, he booked not 1, not 2, but 3 TEDx talks. He was in the position of choosing the event or events that he wanted to speak at. And that's where I want to get you to. So you're not in this place where you're hoping to get an event, or you're on the phone and really nervous about getting the event, where I want to get you to the point where you can book a TEDx talk every time you get on the phone with the TEDx organizer, so you can choose the event that's right for you. So I'm going to send you another video. It's going to dive into the step-by-step process that Jake used at the age of 20 to book 3 TEDx talks. Watch out for that video. I'll send it to you in the next day or two, and I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.